Hi, I'm Frederick.
And I'm Leanne, hi.
And welcome to The Nest. A new concept for a residential, therapeutic, holistic homestay experience for people going through major life changes. Maybe that's around illness, maybe that's around work, maybe it's around creativity. And what happens is people come here for a few days and we work with them together and also independently.
And typically the guests that come to stay here, they want to take the opportunity to, as I say, take a consolidated approach to perhaps processing what they've been through, getting a bit of a break and some proper therapeutic support to help them focus on the future and what next as well.
So I think why we got into this was based on our own personal experience, and Leanne will talk to that in a second about her journey in health. But what happened was we were looking around for a place to go to kind of facilitate Leanne's healing process, and but also have a break, and we just couldn't find anywhere. We really wanted somewhere where we could feel safe and supported, and really have our healing needs met. But also have time in nature together, and also be able to get some good foods and nutrition, and we just couldn't find anywhere that linked all these things together.
So Frederick has alluded to my health journey, which has been one of recovery from thyroid cancer that's metastasized into the lymph nodes in the left hand side of my neck. I was at a pretty low ebb, I suppose, and as Frederick says, we looked around together for somewhere that we could go for a bit of a break, but also somewhere that we could go perhaps for some therapeutic support, but just to kind of help us take stock essentially and figure out what next. And it didn't exist. So we got quite creative, I suppose, and I would say that our combined skill set enabled me to progress and heal quicker from my surgery than would otherwise have been possible if I'd just been left to my own devices and we hadn't have had the knowledge that we have, whether that was around nutrition. Frederick will go on to talk about his background in a few minutes, but particularly around craniosacral therapy and the integration of kind of mind, body, spirit. I was writing a blog about my cancer experience, and Macmillan Cancer Support, I should say, got hold of my blog and passed it on to some people who were struggling with their own cancer diagnosis, who got in touch with me, and then in turn with us, and we started to offer the opportunity for people to come and stay with us in order to recover from what they'd just been through. And it was quite a profound experience for the guests that we had coming to stay, one of whom has talked at length about his experience on the website. So that was really how the idea came about and why we started to do it.
So my background, I initially qualified as a chiropractor and then also as a craniosacral therapist over in America. And during that time I worked and studied extensively with a number of different indigenous teachers around indigenous healing arts as well. I then had my own private practice, initially down in London for 10 or so years, where I offered all of these things to a whole wide range of people with a wide range of issues and symptoms. I guess I saw people with physical pain, like neck, back, shoulder, you name it, type pains, headaches, right through to people with more, should we say, emotional issues who I was working with. I suppose about 5 years ago I became aware that I was seeing more and more people who were talking to me about bereavement or problems in their relationships, and I thought, well, I need to take my skill set further ahead to help these people. So I also then qualified as a psychotherapeutic counsellor, and during that training I specialised in hospice work, working as a bereavement counsellor. So I'm very keen to work with very difficult people with very difficult issues that they can bring to their healing experience. And then more recently still, I've continued with my studies of indigenous healing arts. So I've done a lot of work with Tibetan Buddhist meditation practices and mindfulness, alongside Native American practices, and also now Indigenous practice to these islands, and particularly here to Scotland.
So a little bit about my background. I was in the corporate world for a very long time, most latterly as a director of human resources, and so I'd actually worked in the field of people development and as a coach for 17, 18 years before I retrained in psychotherapeutic counselling initially, which came about because I realised through a number of experiences that because we're human, every single one of us could benefit from some therapeutic support at some point in our lives, be that in regular therapy or perhaps in a context which is more akin to what we're offering here at the Nest, in terms of a sort of consolidated therapeutic experience over a number of days, because life throws curveballs at all of us. And after my initial training, I went on to train in something called sensory motor psychotherapy, which is a neurobiological approach to helping people process trauma and stress. It essentially takes the idea that our bodies have an innate wisdom within them, which if we can learn to tap into it, means that our bodies essentially know how to heal themselves of those types of challenges which we store almost energetically, I suppose. I'm hugely interested, as we both are, in nutrition, taking the concept of using food as medicine and understanding which particular vegetables and fruits and things can help us to address certain aspects of our health.
But it is also important that what we offer can be really useful if you're just feeling stuck, or maybe you've reached a midpoint of life, or you're reaching retirement and you're really wanting to explore what happens next in your life, and just have a space to do that is a mixture of supportive but also relaxing, so you can also have a little bit of a holiday at the same time. And that real personal touch, what we offer, I think is what we've had a lot of good feedback about, that you feel welcomed into a home, and that's just a really good thing. And you might be wondering, well, what happens after I come and stay with you? Is there any follow-up? Well, yes, there is. As well as speaking to you before you come and helping craft a few days for you, we're also interested in following through. And so say you've set yourself some goals, supporting you in that, or as you integrate what you've learned back into your day-to-day life. So we can work with you and set up a number of meetings, perhaps over the internet, perhaps on the phone, or even face-to-face.
So hopefully that gives you a feel for us, the Nest, what it's about, why we set it up, how it works in practice. But if you have questions or you'd like to know any more, then please get in contact with us through the website or give us a call. The email address and the telephone number are both on the website.